And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar right here on BearcatJournal.com. We are live from the Cincy Light Studios, and you need something to do, maybe catch a Reds game as we go through the summer. The now over 500 Reds, which doesn't happen often in April. Go down to Hail Mary's. They're in Cheviot. They're on Harrison Avenue, right in the Dora District. You can go from bar to bar with your drinks, but no need for that. Just hang out at Hail Mary's. They'll get you taken care of. 27 TVs, 9-screen video wall. They have the DirecTV sports package, so they can stream all the games, and the Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. They have a brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines, and ice-cold Cincy Light poured in 32.8-degree frosted glasses. All right, Aaron, that's it's kind of a nondescript Tuesday in Bearcat land. Not a whole lot going on. Tomorrow does open the football portal. I do think Cincinnati will be active. They've had over the past couple days. Yeah, they've had over the past couple days a couple spots open up. Jordan Robinson, the transfer from Kentucky, who didn't have great footing in that cornerback depth chart. Hit the portal, and then we saw Ken Willis, the safety from Coleraine,
that was crazy.
Hit the portal as well. Man, they brought a lot of safeties in, and I don't think
he was playing the star spot largely.
Yeah, but they're really crowded there too.
I understand.
It's
weird to see a Coleraine kid leave the program. That's unheard of.
If you're not going to play, or you're going to play very little, or you're going to be limited to special teams, and the house settlement is not in place yet, so NIL is still very abundant out in the market. He can go make a little cheddar by transferring somewhere. I don't really blame him. I know wasn't going to be an easy path to playing time. I think it's the best way to put it for Ken Willis. So hate to see him go, but
leaves 2 kids left from the class that I covered on their commitments. Ethan Green and Jonathan Thompson. That's and Sincere. Sincere still around.
I mean, it's you go through a coaching change. And now you're 3 years, into year 3 of the new regime, and you still haven't seen the field a ton. That kind of the writing is on the wall. So, it's unfortunate, but that's just the nature of the beast in college sports in 2025. I do think it's funny because, defensive back has been kind of the tipping point for portal entries. They've added a ton of dudes in the defensive backfield over the past couple off seasons, and now feels like those rooms are pretty well stocked and maybe even a little overflowing. So 2 guys out there. Look, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that they're going to be looking at offensive tackle, left tackle. They're going to want somebody to come in and start at left tackle. They'll be looking for edge rushing. They'll be looking for a linebacker. I know is something that they've talked about. Not necessarily a guy that's ready to come in and make an impact now, Aaron, but a lot of these linebackers, Golday, Dingle, Jonathan Thompson, like they're almost at the end of the rope as college football players. So you're going to need to bring some youth into that linebacker spot. I think you could see a linebacker too.
Yeah, you got some upperclassmen there for sure. So got to start developing. And you don't want to be figuring it out in the portal in a couple of years. You got to start getting dudes in now. I mean, we kind of saw the same thing with like Lozowicki. He came in 2 off seasons ago, right?
Last off season.
Was it just last off season?
It was last off season, yeah.
Got some development, and now he's finding himself playing in with the ones. So it wasn't a guy that they brought in initially like we're going to put you out there right now.
Right.
So
sometimes the portal, the smart thing to do is to try to stay ahead of the curve. Like that used to be how you had to recruit high school kids. Well, now you can go out and get a sophomore or a junior with a couple of years of eligibility, come in, get them a year in the system, and then, sell them that next year this whole thing opens up for you, and we want you to come in and be ready to go. So, I don't think there's going to be like a boatload of activity out of the portal this time for football, but there is going to be activity. There is going to be.
Satterfield mentioned 4 or 5 guys, I think, when he was talking about it.
4 or 5 spots.
Yeah.
Haven't heard of anybody else that we anticipate going in yet, but it wouldn't shock me if, spring ball ends Friday. They're one of the few teams that I guess because of where the date fell for the spring game, the spring showcase, that they needed to have it, that there's an extra week. So we're not done with spring practice until Friday. So we'll see if, any other names pop up in the short term.
Well, there's also a domino effect for everybody else around the nation who's entering into the portal. They leave a spot open for when they jump out. So I don't know. We'll see.
Baseball, unfortunate. Fall tonight, unfortunately, 7-6. They were up 5-4 in the top of the ninth. They give up 3 runs. They get one back in the bottom of the ninth, but can't get the tying run across the plate, and they lose 7-6 to the gross team across town.
The Norwood Warriors.
A couple other pieces of information on the basketball side. Josh Reed finds a home at Penn State. I think that's probably a good spot. Make your stupid joke. Make your joke.
They probably took him to the football stadium and showed him the rock that all the players rub on their way out to the field. And him being a geology major, fell in love. He fell in love.
I don't know if he actually ended up being a geology major, but I know he was interested in geology when he
maybe now he is.
But I think a good spot for Josh. Probably going to get a lot of playing time there.
He'll be rock solid.
Do the rest of this on your own.
I don't want to.
I like the pace of play in the Big Ten for him. I think he'll be a good 3-and-D kind of combo forward that should fit in pretty well at Penn State.
Penn State, not known for their basketball prowess. It seems a good fit.
And then Baylor Dan is now Baylor Dan. I think he's the only player on Baylor's roster.
Total.
With Josh Ojenwuna hit the transfer portal earlier today. Let me see if I can pull this up.
The picture of all the players X'd out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I don't remember where I saw
it. I'm honestly I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what his development looks like under Scott Drew. Truthfully.
I am too. Look, here's the thing. Is the breakup messy? Yeah, the breakup's a little messy. And breakups are usually a little messy. But Dan's a good kid. Like, there's nothing about Dan. Do I think maybe he's a little, he's not maybe as mature as some guys are. But Dan had a really hard life growing up. I don't fault him for any of that. But I think it was time for both parties to amicably split. And Dan found a good home. Scott Drew is an excellent coach. As it stands right now, Dan is going to play probably all the minutes because they don't have a team. And the portal is getting a little thin.
What are they doing?
It's a weird deal. It's a very weird deal. I wonder if Scott Drew maybe looks in the mirror and says, I probably should have taken that Kentucky job. But look, he's a good coach. They'll have a good team. He might have to do it with some lower level guys, and he'll get a lot out of them, and they'll be good. They do have a couple McDonald's All-American guys coming in. So they'll be okay. They'll be young, but good for Dan. And maybe he can make TikToks with Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Maybe.
No? Maybe?
Maybe.
Joanna Gaines would love him. Like maybe he'll get an NIL deal with Magnolia Farms.
Sure.
That would be perfect for him.
Waco Dan.
Yeah. So we're still monitoring and tracking the transfer portal. I did put some news on Bearcat Journal on Jalen Celestine about where things are at in his recruitment. So go check out Bearcat Journal for that. And kind of a potpourri edition, Aaron. I don't have a whole lot else. It's not as long as we usually go. Do you have anything else you want to tack on? Or we'll give him a short episode this week or today.
Yeah, I don't have anything else here. I was swimming in my head just now trying to find another rock joke, but
you swam over the waterfall. That's going to do it. We'll see you back here tomorrow night, the BCJ podcast with Dave and I and another nightcap. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!